I want to welcome everyone to like New Patient Secrets. I'm on a mission, and my mission over this course of this series is like, how do we actually get more new patients like during this pandemic, right? And still be profitable, like no matter what search engine, no matter what social media platform you're using, or even doctor marketing, right? So this is the question, and I'm on a journey to get you the answer, right? So I'm Rick Lau, I'm the host. I think a lot of you know who I am. So welcome to Patient Secrets. And then so on each webinar, I'm going to interview like, experts like Jerry. I'm going to interview them, deconstruct like the best like marketers and best salespeople, the best clinical owners across the world, and give you guys real easily to implement tools each week to get even more new patients, right? How's that sound, Jerry?
Sounds awesome. I like the fact you said from around the world, dude.
Yeah, who likes this new series on doing? Type in marketing if you love this, right? You love this series where, I'm gonna bring everyone that's amazing doing this. Type in marketing if you love this, you want me to continue doing this. If you don't type it in, I'm gonna stop the show today. Okay, just all right. Oh, cool. And so I got a special guest, Jerry. I've known Jerry. How long have I known you for, Jerry?
We're going on 6 years.
Yeah. So I first met Jerry in Las Vegas.
Dude,
At the American
Can't make that stuff up, dude.
You can't make that stuff up. At the American Physical Therapy Association, right? And it's been this incredible journey. So Jerry, why don't you maybe tell the quickly just tell the attendees like quickly about yourself,
Sure.
Right?
So I'm a physio by training, 25 years. I had my own practice, which I exited. I had my own practice for about 19 years. I've been out of it now, I think 4 years. My journey, really what brought me here is, I'm a little older than probably most people on the call, is in the States when I had my own practice, about 10 years into owning my own practice, I went to what was called an out-of-network model, or a cash, maybe more of a cash model someone may think of. So I went from one day taking insurance and everything was based on insurance to the next day not. And then that's really where I got my business training, my training about how to do all this stuff that I'm doing today. So that's my journey to here. And I love coming to Canada. I love Toronto. I love Vancouver. I love all the Canadians, Daryl, Rick, and everybody else I know. So,
and as a Canadian,
I like the world thing. I like the world thing because this stuff applies around the world. It doesn't matter where we are.
Love it. And as a Canadian, I don't understand a single thing about what you just said about cash-based practice. Okay.
But I will say this. So here's the important thing. You don't understand that cash-based, yet I've worked with Canadian customers, and the approach down here to your south. So the approach down here in south applies both sides. If we all understand we're working with people, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And so we do have a sponsor on this webinar. And the sponsor is actually Clinic Master. And Clinic Master, I think they're like rolling out their cloud solution right away. Like Max is a good buddy of mine. And so who's using Clinic Master here? Type in Clinic Master if you are a user of Clinic Master. Let me see how many people on Clinic Master. Oh, Karen Craven's here. Geez, this is amazing. So, and just so everyone know, like part of this series is that like, I want this message to share with most as possible. And I'm going to share with you kind of my secrets on how to get a lot of people to attend these calls is that I bring in sponsors. So Clinic Master is a sponsor and they help me share the word on getting more people to attend to these sessions, right? So, well, thank you, Clinic Master. And just before we get started, I need everyone to put their drop-down menu to all panelists and attendees, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you could do that in your chat box there. This way everyone can see it. This is how we typically run my webinars, and it makes it super interactive. And so just before we get started, like Jerry, I want to talk about you and what's going on with the US right now. So this news article recently came out, I think this came out just like a few days ago. So US physical therapy stocks rallies, right? As clinics reopen, right? And so what was interesting is that, I think US physical therapy, how many clinics do they have in the US? Like
hundreds, dude. They're probably they're the only publicly traded physio company in all the US. And they're probably about the third largest by volume maybe.
Yeah, I think they have about 500-600.
I was going to say
right?
500-600, 400 to 600 clinics. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got 500-600 clinics like open. And what's interesting is that because they're a publicly traded company, they're got to review their numbers, right? And what's interesting was that like when I look back, I think what they said was this, right?
65% of normal. Yeah.
Yeah. So with their clinics reopening last month, in the month of May, their patient volumes are at 65% of normal, right? And so I'm just curious in the chat, type in the chat, are you higher than 65%? Type in 65% if you're higher than 65%. I just want to see where everyone's at, whether you're in Australia or Canada or you're in like the US. Are you higher than 65%? Type in 65%, you know. So it was very interesting to actually see this, that like, you know, whether you're in America, like US physical therapy, or even in Canada or Australia, like the numbers are actually very similar, right, Jerry?
Everybody says they're higher, dude. I'm watching the chat.
Yeah. Well, these are May numbers. So what are the numbers going to be in June? Because we're at end of June now.
Right? I know.
So Carl's here. Carl's from Colorado, 65% or higher. But I don't think, Carl, you shut down. I don't think you shut down during COVID, right? Because I think some in Canada, most of the clinics shut down.
Oh yeah,
it was state by state, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was state by state. And so remember, there's 50 states here. So yeah, it could have been, it was all over the board. By the way, here in Philadelphia, it's still very closed down.
Is it? Oh, wow.
We're one of the hardest hit areas in the whole US. So yeah.
Is it harder than hit than Florida or what?
Currently, well, that's all right. No, not now. Florida is one of the biggest, but yet Florida clinics are open. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and let me ask you, Jerry, like, with clinics are reopening again, like what kind of trends are you seeing? Like within like the, you know, obviously the US clinics, and also like the clinics like kind of you coach and work with. And I'd love to share you with kind of what's going on in Canada as well, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say the top three, so getting new patients during the crisis, two things. I saw Facebook ads, because here was the important thing to remember. And I think-
sorry, not Facebook ads. What do you mean is like, are there certain like trends that you're seeing with clinics reopening right now, right? Are you seeing that, like there's not enough new patients, or there's not enough patient slots, you know, or
you know what's funny?
They can't get staff to work, right? You know, like
right. When I look online and I look at the conversations and I ask people, everybody says they're down. When you ask a person about people they know, they say everybody's busy, but you can't find the busy people. So I'm going to argue that people are still down here in the States currently.
Okay, cool. Yeah, something that I'm seeing with clinics that have been already open for like 4 to 6 weeks is that once they absorb all the backlog, right, of the patients have been waiting for the past 2-3 weeks because they were closed or they only offer telehealth, the new patient count numbers are down about 40%, you know?
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And which also means is that like, so if you've just recently reopened for some of the states or provinces like Ontario, like this is actually coming down the pipeline right now, right? Is that like, you know, with, you know, let's work out the math. For every 10 people that's out there, that would be a great patient for like a clinic, you know, how many of those are unemployed right now, Jerry? Out of the 10.
Oh, out of the 10? That would be a great patient?
No, out of the 10 people that would be an ideal patient that's in pain, how many people are unemployed right now? 2 out of the 10, right?
Probably, how many?
2 out of the 10.
Yeah, I was going to say 3. Yeah, 2 to 3 out of the 10.
So let's say 2, okay? 2 are gone, which means there's 8 left, right? Out of the 8 that would come to your clinic in a normal time, how many like are fearful of coming to your clinic?
All 8, dude. I'm going to say all 6, 5.
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm saying half. Okay.
Yeah, half at least.
Okay. So half are want to come in, but the other half are like, I'm not sure. Cause I'm on the bench. Like we have this argument at home all the time. I'm like, okay to go. Right. But my wife is not okay to go because she's dealing with anxiety and fear of this stuff. Right. So, yeah. So that's kind of so back to what we're saying is that like, you know, if like there was 10 and there's really just 4 left.
4. I agree.
Right. Which means that your marketing and your sales process have to be even more tighter than ever before, right? because the cost of doing business is really expensive right now. Right?
Oh,
Agree?
I agree 130%. I wrote that out in a blog yesterday, dude, that hasn't been posted yet. You cannot afford to lose any calls or any leads right now.
So Jerry, what would you say, like, this is show about you, like this is my Tim Ferriss, like, Joe Rogan, like podcast / show. Like, what would you say is like, you know, like, your top marketing tactics, that owners on this like call could actually work on tomorrow to get more new patients, you know, during this crisis? Like,
you know, number one is pick up the phone and call people. And you should have done this 3 months ago. And you probably should have been doing this 4 months ago. But calling those old patients, Rick, I still think is the single most valuable thing someone could do.
Yeah. So I've done that, right? You know, so, you know, I think, and it's actually, it's interesting to bring this up because if you think about the last 3 months during this like crisis of pandemic, everyone like was literally getting back to basics, right?
Yeah, true.
And basics is like what? Phone calls, let's be honest, and emails. No funnels, no funnels. Like social media didn't work, Facebook ads didn't work, Google ads didn't work, all the other shit, all that stuff didn't work, right? You know, who agrees? Type in basics if like that got you through in the last like 2-3 months. Okay, type in basics if that makes sense.
Anybody I was working with, Rick, and this isn't a plug for me, it's just the people I know. Anybody who was doing this on the front end and just dove straight into the basics had a less bumpy ride through these last 3 months than the people who didn't. I saw posts of people who lost everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And because the basics weren't there before. They weren't doing that.
So I just want to make this very clear, everyone. These things that got you by in the last 2-3 months that actually made your business like break even or get by, you can't stop doing this, okay? You add to it, everyone. It's not removing it, right? So doing like the outbound calls, and doing these emails, like you still have to do that, right? You know, because this is not over. And what you do is like you layer new stuff on top to make it even better, right? So I just want to make sure that that makes sense, okay? So Jerry, I've done my outbound calls. I've called my past I try to reactivate some of these patients. I've done that, okay? What else? Like what else can I do as an owner, you know?
Well, let's stay with the basics again then, Rick, because I think we talked about emails, phone calls. You know, I enjoy pummeling people with some of the same content months after months after months, even through the mail side. So, you know, I've shared in the past with you some ideas. I've shared in the past with a lot of people on here. You know, I loved grabbing keywords out of my surveys and reviews of my clinic. And I created a word cloud with the emotional words, because by the way, this is all about trust right now. It's about fear, doubt, and uncertainty and trust. So I don't need to put out an ad that says, you know, my manual therapy is the best. I don't need to put out an ad that talks about my services and treatment. I need to put out an ad that makes you feel that I know you and that it's about you, right? So there is a postcard. This is actually a word cloud that I created a postcard out of. I took over like 3 months or something, I took out all the keywords. We created a postcard. On the front of this postcard, it said what our patients are saying about us. And the flip side was all of our contact info. And we would send it out.
Jerry, just so I understand, Jerry. So are you saying like getting back to basics is like changing the language on what you say and how you market, whether it's like social, Facebook, Google ads, or all this other stuff to be able to like better convert the patient? Is that what you're saying, Jerry?
Unfortunately, as some of the stuff that I'm thinking of right now is stuff we should have been doing. So yes, getting back to the basics is changing the language. There is no word in here, and I didn't realize it until after I posted it at a couple of talks. There is no word in here that tells you if someone actually got better in my clinic, yet they're all the words that people used in positive reviews speaking about me and my business. So about my brand and my business. So This should be a postcard that goes out regularly, month after month after month, because of the emotional connection here and the verbiage of this experience that they had with us, not necessarily the results. Selling results, or sorry, selling the treatments and the techniques, and we get people better or we care, is a waste of time and money.
Yeah. So once again, I'm going to tie it back into like, like marketing, like, I think this is good on a conversion piece, right? Because we're talking about how do we get more leads? How do we get more phone calls? How do we get more emails? So from what I'm hearing from here, Jerry, like you're saying that we got to change the language on how we do marketing, right? Is that what you're saying, Jerry?
Yeah. I would use this as a cold. I would just buy a freaking mailing list in the States. It's by zip code. And I would send this out. And maybe on the backside, I have a phone number that people could opt into, or a special link. This is what I would use. I wouldn't have anything else about my clinic or business on there other than this.
Hey, I'm curious, in the chat, type in what word do you think, like, what word are you going to use in your marketing in here, right? One word. What's the one word you're going to use on this, like, word cloud that Jerry put? I just want to see, like,
Trust.
I want to see what people are putting. Trust, like listening.
Listening is missing big in the States. So everybody likes caring. Careful, because if you all start typing in caring, you got to look for attentive. For you. I love for you, by the way. Personal attention is about for you. Attention's about for you. I like these.
Yeah.
And if you look at research about healthcare in the States, everybody complains that nobody listens. So if you send out a postcard, right, and the focus is on listening as a healthcare provider, you're going to get people's attention.
Okay. Wow. That's good. Okay, so let's go back. So that's number one, using the type of words in your marketing. What else needs to happen to generate more, like, phone calls or get more emails, Jerry, right?
So what else I like is the word. So let's stick with the words thing here, Rick. Okay. Yeah. Let's stick with the words. If I go to most websites in the States, and if I type in low back pain and I happen to land on physio or providers or whatever, actually, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to end up at a site reading about the provider, their services, their products.
Okay, let's do this. So what is a state that you don't know anyone, Jerry? Because let's go check out their website. Okay?
Newfoundland. No, let's go Vermont.
Okay, want to put let's do this. Physical therapy, Vermont. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay. All right. Hopefully you don't know this person here. Yeah. I'm gonna say one thing here, everyone. When it comes to like the easiest thing you do right now is like reviews. I look at Google reviews here. Like this like sucks, right? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you bought something on Amazon and you didn't read a review, right? Type in when was the last time you bought something. Actually, let me revert. Yeah, never. When was the last time you bought something and you did not do you didn't read the review, right? You could put in never, or you could put like always, or you could put in like the year, like Andrew, right? So why would a patient consumer do anything different? Right? Oh, what's going on with Jerry here? He left me. So it's just and here's the thing is that, like, I think something very easy that everyone could do, right, is working on like operationalize getting your Google reviews, right? Right? Who has more than 100 Google reviews at their clinic right now? Type in 100 if you have more than 100, right? All right, Karen, yeah. Karen probably has like 200-300, right? So what can you do in your patient, in your operations so that each like day or each week you could grab 3 formal reviews, right? Because if in a month, in a year, that would be how many? Like that would be like 10, right? If you get 3 in a week, in a month, it'll be 4, right? So this is an operations game. Like you don't have to hunt and spend money on marketing. Getting more Google reviews does 2 things. Not only will it get people it'll increase more people, increase more people like increase the conversion rate, but it also helps you with SEO, everybody. Okay. Type in SEO if you want more like SEO, right? SEO, Google reviews, Google My Business Listing will get you more SEO. Will get you more SEO, right? And that's free. You don't have to hire a marketing agency at $1,000. Okay. So, all right. Where is our friend Jerry? He lost us. Okay, so I'm gonna start. So here's the second thing I'm gonna look at, right? We're gonna look at, we are gonna look at Vermont, what is this? Vermont physical therapy, okay? I'm gonna quickly scroll through this, right? Oh, there's a question on what is SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It just means that you rank on like the first page on Google, okay, Kowal? And so I'm gonna look at this website. I'm gonna quickly scroll through. One of them, you type in the chat what you, like what is missing? What is missing from here, okay? All right, type in the chat, what is missing on this homepage here? Mission statement, call to action, okay? What's a call to action? Like virtual care, reviews, right? Oh, Jerry, download this, what else? Testimonials, right? All right, that's good, like appointment to book, yeah. They probably don't have online booking. Jerry, are you back now? Like, what's going on here?
I'm back. My computer just took a dive, dude. I'm on my phone. Can you see me?
Not really.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, right?
All
Can you
right.
see my screen share or no? Right?
Yeah, I can see your screen. I can see you, dude. My computer just took a dive.
Okay. So I asked them what is missing here, and so and so I think this is the point that you want to talk about, right, Jerry? Is that on this website, like on this website, like if we already talked about how important like reviews are with like the buying decision-making process, especially during this pandemic now, like people don't trust anyone anymore, right? People are so fearful that they don't trust anyone anymore. So you need to have like reviews on your website, That's something you can easily do. Right? And who actually has reviews on their homepage, right? Type in reviews if you have reviews on your homepage. Okay. Okay, and for the people who do have reviews, is it a video review or is it a text review? Okay. Oh, I like Ina. Okay. Let me tell you, does a text review look like, I'm gonna go like this one. I think most clinics have this like testimonial page. Does it look like something like this? Like Jerry, what do you like and don't like about this, Jerry?
Dude, I don't like anything about, well, we went from the mountain biker and mountain climbers to someone doing a stretch in their jeans and someone laying on a table passively. And the fact that all the reviews are running together. There's no pictures. There's no reason for me to stop here and think this place is anything for me or about me. So we went from great pictures, okay, and then I go to the actual people they're working with, right? And this just doesn't fit for me.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Reviews are really, really important. So Jerry, like what recommendation would you make if like you were like Vermont, if you were the digital marketing company for if you're the owner of Vermont Physical Therapy right now?
Dude, I would put a guy or a girl on the cover in their workout clothes standing doing something they love with a quick blurb, like 1 or 2 sentences back to what they love about or what they got back to because of this clinic.
Okay. Like more, you mean like a before and after?
No, because the implication would be the picture was an after thing, right? Like on a running website, someone holding a medal at the finish line and saying, thank you, thank you, Vermont PT, for getting me back to the finish line, right? Something like that, dude.
But for a video review, Jerry, is that like, we're talking about video review right now. Is that what?
Sure, why not? I would. I want to see that end result. I want to see someone who looks like me, who got to the end result that I want to be at.
Yeah. You know what, like when you, and also when you do like testimonials or reviews, like what you want to show is exactly what Enya talked about. Like you want to show like a success story, right? What is it before and after? How has this actually transformed my life? You know, what has this like allowed me to do again? I could play for my kids again, like in the playground, you know, right? What else, like Jerry, you know, like,
well, I love this picture, dude. This picture is pretty obvious. And I'm going to assume, by the way, this is kind of cool because I'm on my phone and I can't see the URL, but I'm going to assume this is a scoliosis clinic, right? And so therefore, if I'm looking for help with this, then this visual is worth $1 gazillion to me personally as someone who needs some help, not even as the provider. If I'm going to engage someone and I have scoliosis, then this picture is worth a boatload to me.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, and once again, is that like, you know, when you look at Instagram and Facebook, people are very clever at showing before and afters, you know, right? You know, that's what you need to do in your video, right? You know, to be able to show like the before and after. So let me ask you a question, Jerry. Like, what question would you ask, right, the patient for? Like, what are the 1 or 2 questions you would ask the patient for when you record them, right? What's a good question to get?
I would say, tell me what it was like when you were looking for me. When you were before or when you were looking for me, for a before question.
Okay.
You know, because the mindset around that is what result, right? What were you looking for? What couldn't you do? What result were you looking for? And I want to hear it in their words.
Yeah. What was life like before? Life like before you treated, before I worked with you? Who likes that? Type in before if you like that question. Type in before. Okay. And so, what is a good question for after, Jerry?
So, you know what? Sorry, I'm laughing because it follows with what was life like after you found me. But I would say, what is it you could do? What is it you can do now that you couldn't do before you found me?
Yeah.
Because I want to know again. I want the result.
Yeah. And what do you want to hear, everyone? Like, what is the patient's why of calling you, right? You know, is because I couldn't.
You got it,
I was having pain. I was having back pain having sex, you know, or maybe I was, you know, like type in the chat, what are reasons why a patient comes to your clinic? And it's not because they want a physiotherapy, chiropractic, massage, or naturopathy. What is the main reason why, like, what is one of the reasons why they come to your clinic, you know? Because they miss playing golf with their buddies, right? You know, they want to like pick up their kids, you know, like, you know, and they want to pick up.
Nobody has ever called a clinic for low back pain in the history of the world. They call it because of can't pick up the grandchild, can't play golf, can't go for a run, can't get out of bed without pain in the morning, right? That's the stuff we need.
Yeah, and just so everyone understands, like, you know, so you don't want to be generic about like, you know, pain and like live life better. Like those are very like high level, like brand marketing. That's like, this is like, yeah, I can't sleep. I can't take a shower. I can't play golf. I can't pick up my kids. You know, exactly. I'm peeing my pants, you know, I have trouble with like, you know, I have trouble with like playing golf with my buddies again, right? Is that making sense, everyone? Like type in like patient why, if that makes sense. That's what needs to happen on a good review, right? Hey, Jerry, maybe I'm just gonna make a suggestion. Maybe turn off your video because your video is not.
Oh, is it, dude? Sorry.
Just turn off your video and we'll just keep you on audio. Is that cool? So type in patient why, if that makes sense. That's the messaging that you need to put on your testimonials, on the right, the patient why. Okay. And so once you have it, everyone, this is my recommendation, right? So Jerry, let's talk about this, right? Like we have this, like, you know, I have this on the Call Hero website as well. Like, how do we get someone, you know, like, how do we get, like, what's a good way to display like reviews, right? So Jerry, you want to talk about this?
Display reviews, you know, I like them front and center, dude.
Yeah.
Front and center on the first page. So if I'm going to type in a solution to low back pain or physio or chiro or massage for low back pain, I want the website to pop up telling me the story of the person that had success there. And I want to be able to say that's me.
Yeah. So on your website, this is, I love what you just said there, Jerry. On your website, what you want to do is like have a video on here and make it very apparent for them. Click here to play, everyone. Okay. You see that? Who sees that? Who sees that? Like type in click to play. Okay. This way, like they know it's a video and they just click to play. Okay. And the second thing is that like what you want to do is you want to summarize, like for the people that won't actually read that video, right? So here's a good example. You know, now we could track front desk performance across my 3 clinics. That's what Raj put, you know? So, so once again, you want to make it click to play, and you want to be able to quickly have a quote or a snapshot for all the lazy people that are not going to click to play. But when they scan your website, they're like, oh my God, you know, like I look like Raj, or I look like this person, or I look like this person. And like, and this is how it helped me, right? Does that make sense? Everyone type in reviews if that makes sense. You know, these are tactical things you guys could do like tomorrow about reviews. Okay. There was a question here about the college doesn't allow reviews, testimonials. For Ontario, you know, once again, I think you guys check province by province, state by state. But I think in Ontario, there's a misunderstanding that you can't, but you actually can, right? And so reach out to like maybe Karim at Private Practice, and I think he should be able to shed some light on that, okay? So, what else is there? Melissa put, there's only so much attention span. How long are these videos? Melissa, like Jerry, like how long should these videos be?
About, oh, sorry, hold on.
All right, so I'm gonna say, you know, I would keep it short, between like a couple of minutes, right? You know, but once again, let's be honest. Majority of the time when you see this, are you actually gonna watch it? Type in if you're gonna watch it, if you're gonna see like what I just saw. You're likely not gonna watch it. That's why it's really important just to have this part, you know, right? So
yeah, people are gonna read it, and then they're gonna click to make sure it's a real person talking about it. And I would think they'd click off within a couple minutes, or sorry, a couple, what, 30 seconds, a minute?
So here's a good question. Mandy wrote, like, in my province, it doesn't allow me to put testimonials, right? And so, Jerry, what other way? Once again, I would double check that, because I think a lot of people have misunderstandings whether what you can and cannot do, because the rules have changed significantly. But if you can't, you know, what's another way of doing it, right?
Well, you know, I think that Vermont PT website, if every picture runs across as someone who's active and is your person. The problem with that Vermont website we pulled up is it said one thing on the front page, and then when you went to testimonials, and I get it, right? There was a total disconnect. The story needs to continue. As I start clicking around, right, the story needs to continue. Also, the word cloud I showed you, why wouldn't, maybe I'd just say words used about us, or if you don't want to say what people are saying about us, I would still put these words have been used. I'd put the word cloud on the website.
Yeah. So Mandy, maybe an idea, like, can you call it like, don't call it a testimonial, but can you call it like a patient story, right? A patient success story, and don't call it a testimonial. Don't call it a review, right? Or maybe have like a if you're a physio and the physio won't let you, and maybe like the RMT college allows you to do it, maybe have the RMT do it, right? Have another profession do it. Have the kinesiologist do it, right? You know, before and after. Don't make if your college won't allow you to do it, can you get another profession to do it, right? Mandy, does that help? Right? I think you got to find a way to make this work, because if we're trying to like get more people to if we're trying to get more people to get exposure to physio, chiro, massage, naturopath, right? You know, what's going to impede us if we can't actually have reviews, okay? So find a way to do it. And honestly, like I would double check the reviews. And once again, like Google reviews are already happening already. That's why Ontario had this massive shift like last year where they couldn't stop people from getting reviews. It's just like, this is how our world is.
I love honestly,
it. Like, you didn't hear this from me.
Academia.
Yeah, you didn't hear this from me. Don't quote me this. I rather get a slap on my wrist for doing it and then like to get it off, right? You know, to be honest, right?
Call that asking for forgiveness instead of permission.
Yes. Success story, you know? Right? Don't call it a review. Call it a success story. I don't even call this reviews. I just call it success stories. Look at, can you see how many clinic owners like you are using Call Hero, right? You know? Is Karen here? I think Karen's here. Like, look, this is my website. What do I do in like my homepage right here? The very beginning, I have a success story of Karen. I'm not calling a review, right? And I showed, hey, Karen has this little code here. Most people don't want to watch this, but if you want, you're going to click here to play, right? There you go. Get a demo. Call to action. Okay.
I think the setup and the structure of that and the line underneath it is far more important than what the video says.
Yeah. So he's talking about this piece, the caption, everyone. Type in caption if you're going to use a video review. Type in caption, okay?
Because when you land on the website, you want to know within moments that this is the right place for me. And when you see a smiling person or a business person that looks like you, and then the line under it says, I was so happy I used Vermont. I'm going to say Vermont PT, being we threw them under the bus. I'm so happy I used Vermont PT, then so be it, man. That's 51% of the battle.
Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, Lindsay is with Karen's marketing, right? So, okay. So here's a second question. Jerry, what is the biggest mistake owners are right now making? What's the number one mistake owners are doing right now with marketing?
They're not connecting it with their sales team, dude. They're not measuring the results.
Okay. What does that mean?
That means if you're going to, I had a call this morning with a front desk person that I'm helping to coach in a clinic. I asked him, the first question I asked him was, well, tell me, so you guys are running, you know, I said, first off, I said, tell me about all the leads you get every week. Give me a percentage. What comes from Facebook? What comes from direct calls? What comes from this? And he said, I don't know. I said, why not? He goes, we don't track it. Okay. So the disconnect. So what are you going to spend your money on? Which ad? So, but they have patients in the clinic. How'd they get there? Well, they came through our Facebook ad. You said you're running 5. Which one? Well, one of them, right? So this disconnect between the people that do show up and the people that are converting for you from your ads, you got to know where and how. And that's part of the sales team. The sales team should be collecting that data and working, not directly maybe, but working with
Barry, you confuse me. My clinic doesn't have salespeople. What are you talking about? Barry, like, I have a clinic, I have front desk, I have clinician. Who has salespeople? Like, what are you talking about, Jerry? You know, we don't. Who's it? What are you talking about, Jerry?
That is great. If you don't consider your front desk a salesperson, then that's part of the problem. Getting people scheduled will never grow a business, will never get you through COVID, will never get you out the other side. This mindset about helping people to understand that your services, your expertise, your products can help them get the desired result they want is the job of your front desk. And the sooner you do that and the earlier you do that, the better your business metrics will be.
Yeah.
If you think your front desk is,
I think there's a big misunderstanding on the difference between marketing and sales. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
type in the chat, everyone. What is marketing? What is marketing? What does it mean to have marketing? Like, what does marketing do for you? Right? What does this specifically do for you for marketing? Type in the chat. Right? And Jerry, like, what does marketing do for owners? Okay, or clinics?
do you want me to answer that? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Marketing gets you the knock on the door. Marketing says, hi, I'm here. I would like to talk with you. That's what marketing does.
Okay. So marketing, just so we're clear, marketing in this case is like, yes, there's branding, but marketing is about getting you phone calls and getting you emails. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Does that make sense? Everyone type in like email, type in phone calls if that makes sense. Like, that's what marketing does. Marketing's main job is to get you phone calls and emails. Okay. That is marketing. What you do, like whether like you're branding, you do direct messaging, you do postcards, everything is about getting phone calls. Okay. That's marketing. So if that is marketing, what is sales, everyone? Type in the chat, what is sales? What does sales do for you? Once you get these phone calls, what does sales do for you? Type that in the chat. And Jerry, in your world, what does sales do?
So let me continue the analogy. Marketing gets the knock on the door to the business. The salesperson opens the door and says, how can I help you? That's what sales does. It puts people onto your schedule that will arrive, pay, stay, and do word of mouth and help you with your marketing in the future.
There you go. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Sales means converting the calls. It means converting the emails into an appointment. Okay. That's what it is. And let me ask you, I'm going to ask the question again. Who employs salespeople at their clinic right now? Type in sales if you employ salespeople at your clinic. These are the people that convert calls into new patients.
Now I'm smiling.
Okay. But Jerry, do you understand like what we just did here? Like, we had to do this analogy so people understand.
I know.
Yeah,
you get it.
So I think like this is a very distinction. So there's two ways you could get more new patients, everyone. You could generate more calls, right? And what's the other way?
You could train your front desk to convert more of those leads into arrivals, into scheduled people.
Okay. Which one's easier, everyone? Type in the chat. Is it easier to do marketing or is it easier to do sales? Type it in the chat.
That's a great question. That's a loaded question, by the way. Is it easier?
Type in the chat. What's easier, sales or marketing? Is it easier to generate phone calls or is it easier to close phone calls? Okay. Type in the chat, sales or marketing. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Marketing is hard.
I love it. I love it. Rick's getting, look at this. Look at this.
And the people that do branding, like, oh, like I'm a Lululemon, I'm an Apple. That doesn't generate phone calls. It generates phone calls after like 3, 5, 20 years, like marketing is tough, right?
I love it, man. By the way, I will argue. So here's the deal. Wait, real quick, because some people said, Ty, it's close. This is the issue in physio, in healthcare, in what we do. People don't understand and won't acknowledge the connection between Rick and Jerry, marketing and sales. When you acknowledge the connection, they both will get easier. Yet you must first understand there's marketing and there's sales, and your front desk and your providers are both salespeople. So once you figure that out, your marketing can improve and your front desk team can help Rick be more successful with you. It's that freaking simple.
And you all know I'm a marketing guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Is Rick a marketing guy or a sales guy? I'm a marketing.
Rick is the marketing. I'm the sales guy. That's why I keep talking over him.
So here's the thing. Type in the chat, what do you see here? So let me explain what this is. So my marketing guys, this is the results for last week, right? We spent $183 on Google ads, right? We generated this is interesting. So we use Google ads, right? last week. We were testing this for like 5-6 clinics, we tested like a big city, small city. I'm running these tests. I got 2 emails and 10 phone calls, right? Type in the chat, what do you see here, everybody, right? Jerry, what do you see when you see this?
I see help. They need help with sales training, dude. That's what I see.
Okay. Guys, is this good? It cost me, well, first of all, with Google Ads, this is what I see. Majority of the leads coming in were phone calls, not emails, right? So that's number one. We spent $200, $183 last week, and we generate 12 we generate 10 phone calls, 2 emails. How much did it cost me per lead, right? $15. Who would like to get $15 a phone call right now? $15 for a Google Ads phone call. Is that a good number or a bad number?
I'll take it.
Right? Type in the chat, for Google Ads, $15 a phone call. Is that a good number or a bad number? Right? See, Alexandra knows because we've been talking about this, right? $15 for a major city. Once again, so $50 a phone call. Think about this. Here, I'm going to show this thing. This is like where everything gets dropped, and I get so upset.
You need. Let's go back to your question as you're pulling forward real quick. I need people to understand this is not a marketing problem, and most of the clinic owners I know will say we got a marketing problem because we have no people on the schedule, and I'll say no, you have a sales problem. This is not a marketing problem. That's the answer to Rick's question on this line.
Look at this.
This is not a marketing problem.
I got 10 calls and I missed 9. Okay, this is real numbers. I'm like, what the heck? I spent $200 or $1,000 a month.
Why bother?
Missing 10% of these calls. And guess what? At the end of the day, it cost me I booked 2. Okay, these clinics booked 2. So literally, it cost me $91 for a new patient booked. Is $91 a good number or a bad number? Type that in the chat. Is that good or bad?
For a patient book. Jesus Christ, dude.
Right? That is bad. Okay.
Actually, it's horrible. You still have to pay.
That is horrible.
You still have all your expenses of your business on top of that. There's no.
So let me ask you, do we have a marketing problem here or do we have a sales problem?
All right, good.
Okay. Yes, sales problem. Okay. And so I'm going to do another example now. If it cost me, let's just say, if it cost me $91 on Google Ads, right? Oh my God, this is horrible. I'm just going.
That's awesome, dude. Actually,
and it cost me $30 for a new patient on let's just say Facebook, okay? Facebook. Where am I going to spend my marketing next month? Am I going to spend it on Google or Facebook? Which one has a lower cost per new patient? Type that in the chat. Right? If it costs me $91 for Google, it costs me $30 for Facebook, where am I going to spend my marketing dollars? Facebook or Google? Right? Exactly. Facebook. So the point of this story is 2 things, right? I'm just going to clear this. Oh, geez, we're almost running out of time. I talked too much. I'm going to...
Don't bring a sales guy on.
What's that?
I said don't bring a sales guy on.
So the point of the story is that sales is the easiest thing for you to focus on right now, everyone, okay? I just use this because everyone's I'm talking to everyone's I want to do Facebook ads, I want to do SEO. This is what everyone's talking about right now inside their academy. I'm working with 400 clinics right now. Everyone's I want to do SEO, I want to do ads, I want to do Facebook ads, I want to do Google ads, right? And I'm saying I'm not saying don't do it. Start with one channel, measure it, how much does it cost you to get that new patient in the door, right? And then figure out, do you have a marketing problem or a sales problem, right? If it's a sales problem, work on sales training. If your sales is good, then you need to try another marketing channel and see which one gives you a lower cost per new patient. So take a screenshot of this, everyone. This is how you determine, this is what I call cost per new patient, cost per assessment. Take a screenshot of this. You take your advertisement cost and whether it was booked. Compare channel to channel, okay? What are your thoughts about that, Jerry?
Can I ask you a clarifying question?
Yes.
Is booked arrived, so they showed up in the clinic?
No, that you're making it a little more complicated. Yes, it's
Yeah,
not.
that's all right. That's all right. I just, no, that's all right. I just want to make sure I'm looking at it the same way as everybody else is. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Just yeah, I think yeah, like
I get it. I get it. I get
arriving
it.
and showing is like a whole new level. But
Well,
like
and again, your graph showed the difference. You showed cost per lead and then cost per scheduled, right? So I get it. So, and obviously in that equation, the easiest way to do it is convert more of those leads. Simple enough.
so I'm gonna give everyone a really quick tip, okay? So if who's heard of call tracking before? Type in call tracking if you've heard it before. So what you do is you create these fake phone numbers, you put it to each of your stuff. You put it on your website, you put it on paid ads, Google ads, social media, whatever, doctor marketing, doctor referral pads, like radio ads. And then you could track how many phone calls that you get, right? And then you can listen to these calls and determine whether they're booked or not, okay? So that, and then based on that, that's when you do like kind of like sales training, okay? So here's the last thing we're gonna wrap up here, and I'm gonna ask you during this, like, so let's just say we recognize we have a sales problem, okay? Marketing is good. We're getting 15 bucks a call, 20 bucks a call. By the way, anything less than $30 a call is decent, okay? $30 a phone call is good. So let's just say I could get $30 a phone call. Right now during this like period of time, like the front desk or salespeople, they're overwhelmed, right? They're overwhelmed with like cleaning, all their process. Like, how do we actually get them to use like phone scripts or even answer the phones right now, Jerry?
Well,
without tipping them over.
Without tipping them over. Well, I think a big, I hate these questions because I want to go back, just like we did go back to the basics. If they understand what answering the phone means to that patient, that person on the other end of the phone, personal success, and they understand what answering the phone and managing potential new patients means for the success of the business, then nothing should overwhelm them that has to do with the phone. Does that answer make sense? Right?
Yeah.
We're giving them other stuff to do.
I'm being straight up there. Like I'm being straight up like the front, like who has front desk right now or that are overwhelmed right now? Type in overwhelmed.
So we're back to these things I say all the time. If you understand your front desk as actually a salesperson and as a driver of business, because we saw they're losing you a shitload of business in that clinic that Rick showed. If we understand that the front desk is actually a driver of business in your company, in your practice, then we will find other people to do those tasks that are overwhelming them. That's my answer.
Yeah, but what do I say to them? Like, I want to get hyper tactical here, Jerry. Like, what do you do in your type of like
in my training? I make sure they understand that person on the other end of the phone, that when they arrive and when they get better, I say, Rick, because you answered the phone, because you managed them on the phone properly, because you got them to arrive, you actually play a role in their success. And when you do that, they do good and the business does better. And by the way, between you and me, we probably have an incentive program for that. So there you go. So I'm going to prove it to them. I'm going to tell it to them, and then I'm going to prove it to them.
What do you say now when right now a lot of them are overwhelmed and like here's the kicker. A lot of them are overwhelmed right now just with like the cleaning responsibility. They're also fearful of coming into work right now, right? Mm-hmm. Because of COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And then like, me, Mr. Owner here or Miss Owner, like I'm spending all this money on marketing. I'm joining all these phone calls. And like what tactical like recommendation can you give to these, maybe like the audience here on what they could specifically say to like, get them to be open to like this type of like sales training or coaching, without like tipping them over, Like I'm just being straight up like this.
I know. I would have a very difficult time with that. I don't think in the time of turmoil, in the time of a worldwide pandemic, is the time to go to your front desk and say the shit you should have been saying to them already. So what would I say to them? I would tell them that, again, I'm going to say this in a different way. It's going to be the same thing, that your job of managing the phone and helping people who need our help is actually the priority. And if you need help with some of this other stuff, let me know, because again, it's on you to set them up for success. And if they're overwhelmed because they're doing a bunch of shit that doesn't allow them, by the way, to get to those calls. That 10%. So let's go back to your graph. I love that thing. If only 10% of the calls, that's on me, the owner. I'm going to use an English word, a famous English word. That you fuck that up as the owner if you do that, because you are not allowing them.
Webinar, Jerry. No swearing allowed.
Okay, no swearing. So
that is not possible with you.
It's not possible. We allowed them not to answer the phone. Everybody was typing in that answer rate. So then I'd have to go back to myself and my clinic manager and go, why? Well, it's because we got them doing 3 new things. Well, we can't. We're losing money. So let's find, by the way, I guarantee you could pay another person part-time out of the money you would make out of the 5 more people they converted, 6 more people they converted. So I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. I don't think, if you're overwhelmed and I can't own the fact that I need you to answer the phone, then I can't change it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, I'm the sales guy here. You must set your front desk up for success from day one. And when they're having downtimes, okay, we ride that wave. When they're having uptimes, we high five. But they got to know every day that their primary role is to get people on the schedule who will arrive, pay, stay, and help us with our marketing. So that's what I got, dude. I don't have, shift someone else over to take on some of those responsibilities. That's what I would be looking for.
And one thing I will also look at too is that if you have maybe 3, or let's just say you have 3 different types of front desk workers, right? Right?
Yeah.
You're going to realize that one of them is a superstar. They're going to be your champion, right? So part of this thing is maybe triaging and letting that champion to do the sales training or to do the conversions, right? So it's not getting everyone on board. Get the one that is the best person to do that. If that makes sense, type in champion, okay? Type that in the chat if that makes sense. This is not about changing everyone. It's finding the one person that can help you champion conversion rates over the phones and be receptive about using phone scripts, about changing how you would do it, right? Okay.
Well, and all that stuff sets them up for further success. So I don't think the process of doing it.
We have 5 minutes left, but I want to finish with this one. I want people to listen to this call and let me know whether it was a good call or a bad call. Okay. Who wants to listen to? Who wants to do that? So this call is for 2 minutes. Okay. I want you to listen to it. Ready? Tell me if you can hear it. Oh man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, this call, I muted out all the identifiers so no one knows. Okay.
Take it off mute. There you go.
Okay.
The office?
This is, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm just calling to inquire, are you guys accepting patients right now?
We are, yes.
You are? Okay. So I'm just calling I'm calling on my mother's behalf. I just wanted to know, she has, she's a bit of an older lady. She doesn't have as good physical movement. Would physiotherapy be helpful for that, I would assume, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Because before things are getting worse for her, I wanted to help get her strong. And so I just wanted to sort of know how to book her in for, I guess, an assessment, and then sort of ballpark what kind of it costs to come. I don't know how often she'd have to come. I guess the physiotherapist would tell us that after the assessment.
Absolutely. So she would be assessed. She would come in and tell them her goals, what she's looking to work on strengthening. And then after they assess her, they would give her a treatment plan from there. So they will give her exercises she could work on at home as well.
Okay.
And then they would let you know how many times she should be coming in a week.
Okay. And then what is it roughly, I'm going to be covering the cost of it. Is there a general kind of, I have no idea what it would cost. Just like a ballpark.
The initial assessment, we usually do 45 minutes, so the initial assessment would be $100 and the subsequent visits would be $90.
Okay. Okay, that sounds great. So I'm not near my computer right now, and I run my own business, so I'm with clients. Would I be able to phone back or book online or to book an appointment with her?
Absolutely, yes. You should give us a call well. Somebody will be here all day, or you can book online as well. When you put in the information, they will ask about her health history as well, and if there's any concerns about her coming into the office, they will contact you and may want to set it up tele-rehab instead.
What do you mean? Like over the phone? Like
over video.
Over video. So
over video. It depends if she has any underlying health conditions or weakened immunity, autoimmune disorders, or anything like that. They will review the information and be in contact with you if they don't think it's a right fit for face-to-face at this time, just with the COVID precautions.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, well, yeah, I'll definitely give you a call back.
What do you think about that one? Hey, was that a good call or a bad call? Type that in the chat. What a mess. Hey, think about this one. Like she started throwing like tele-rehab. Did you see that, what that girl said? That patient was like, tele what?
That was awesome. She froze on the spot and just went, tele what? Yeah. That was awesome. I want that recording, dude. I want it.
Yeah. So Jerry, like I'm gonna wrap this up. Actually, just give me one thing, because we got to wrap up. What is one thing you would do differently in that phone call, right? That you could share with everyone, since you're the salesperson or the training person. Okay?
From the beginning, I would have stopped her. I know you blanked it out, but I would assume, I don't think she stopped her and acknowledged her name and got her phone number from her, because she was going to allow her to call her back without collecting any data on her. So from the beginning, I would have acknowledged and said, yes, we can help your mother. Can I get your name from you? And can I get a phone number from you? I would have done that from the get-go, dude. Just acknowledge what you hear.
I love that. Type that in the chat. Like, what's the one thing that you would do differently on that phone call, right? Because I'll be honest, that person said they'll call back. They did not call back.
Okay? Oh, surprise. What do you mean be honest?
They did not call back, okay?
Dude, no shit. And of course, by the way, she said, of course I will call back.
Of course. They say, of course I call you back. They do not call back, right? And so, and then here's the second kicker. So, yes, you grab that stuff. I think what's really important is to be more empathetic. Back to your word cloud is like, hey, I'm sorry to hear this. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, right? Tell me more. Like, what happened, right? And then don't make it into like, it's you gotta ask the questions, like acknowledge like the fact that her mom's in pain. I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, how's your mom doing? Like, what has she done? Like, what would you do if it was your grandma? Okay. You got to control the conversation, right? So, okay.
Yeah, control.
We are going to wrap up here. I want you to type in, like, what is your biggest takeaway from our, for marketing secrets today? Type in your biggest takeaway from today. Type that in the chat. What are you going to implement? What are you going to implement? What are you going to implement the next time I hear from you? Okay. Type that in the chat. What are you going to do? Okay. Keeping at the basics for now. Okay. What else? You need to support your admin team around sales.
Hey,
right?
Karen. Or that's not
emotional
Karen.
words, success stories on websites, continue the basics. Basically, phone calls, emails, right? Right? Track cost per acquisition. Listen to your calls, right? What else? Basic front desk sales training, right? Do you have a sales problem or marketing problem?